Hey, you guys, it is Nutrition Day. It's Reset Sunday, and we're going to reset the week. Today is very simple, nothing too complex. All we're going to focus on is just simply looking back at what we have going on, making sure that our My Fitness Pal is set up the way that it needs to be. There are questions about nutrition. Ask those questions. This is time for you. My question to you all was for a goal for the end of the month. Do you want to be down 2 pounds of body fat, or do you want to target and tone a certain area? So that is what I really want you to shift your focus to for the remainder of this month. One again is 2 pounds of body fat down, or target and tone an area. And the reason why I'm giving these options, because some of us have some aggressive weight loss goals, and some of us are at the point where we're like, okay, we're flirting between body fat loss, and we're also flirting between body fat loss, but also retaining that muscle and gaining the muscle that we want to, so that our body appears to be the way that we want it to be. So, decline. Okay. Sorry about that. My whole little thing just messed up there. But anyway, that is what today's goal and focus is. And that was what my question to you all was. That's what you want to do. Let's do what we got to do. So, first question would be is this. Are you, let me see, let me get up my chat. Are you trying to tone and tighten? Or do you want to be down? Let me see, tone and tighten. And you can put a TT if that's what you want, or 2 pounds down. Where you at? Chandra, both of them. Yes, both of them. So that's what I want to know. Let me know, because there are very strategic things that you need to focus on. But let's get into the questions. Or not even my original question to y'all. Where do you stand right now with your goals? How are you performing so far for this month? How is March working for you? Have you been achieving your goals? Have you gotten off? Where do you stand right now? Thank you, Miss T. I got yours. Where do you stand right now? Are you, hey, Taz? Okay, that's totally fine. I got your message privately. Where do you stand right now? Are you achieving the goals that you need to be achieving at this very moment, or are you getting a little off? That's my question to you. And I want to know, simply because it's very easy to get off. You know, you might have one meal that doesn't work for you. I know a lot of us are going through schedule changes right now. So it's very easy. March has been I would even say February and March has been a very confusing and conflicting month in regards to just goals that we have set for ourselves, especially when you think about back in January when we set these goals for ourselves. We've gotten off. Sometimes people get off and it is a-okay. I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, I have to be a slave to everything that I'm doing. That is not how lifestyle changes work. Lifestyle changes means you're just taking it one step at a time. That's it. That's all you're committing to. You're not trying to go crazy. I don't want you to be obsessive about this, because that's not healthy. And we all know that stress leads to weight gain or skin inconsistencies, bloating, whatever. Stress will throw you all the way off. And we've had a very stressful past month. At the very least, it's been a stressful month. So let's see. Okay, somebody said a little off this week, but changing it up next week. Okay, cool. So give me some details, and you come off if you want to. You can come off mute if you want to. What are some of those? Why are you getting off? Like, what is happening? Is it not okay with preparing? You know, do you not have time? Is it time management at this moment? Are you having issues? Are you getting food boredom? What's going on at this moment?
No, it was my mom's birthday. So,
hey, Mama, happy birthday.
So we hadn't been able to really do anything, just me and her. So we did that this weekend. So it was like going to our favorite place that we hadn't been to in probably a year. Mm-hmm. My godmom made her cake. It was a little off this week. I ain't gonna lie. So yeah, that it was just once out of the month. So I know what I need to do to get back on track. So that's what I plan on doing.
Okay. So what are you gonna do to get back on track?
Well, I've already started kind of mapping out. I'm about to try this meal plan that's gonna have me eating a lot of protein. And I know my protein levels hasn't changed in like at all in a month. It's been like the same. So I'm about to add this meal plan in. I'm going to map it out this week and try to do a couple of the things that's in it this week, but actually go full steam with it next week. Cause I have, my best friend is going to do it with me starting next Monday for the next 6 weeks. That's our goal. And so, with me, I'm just trying to really get my protein levels up. Cause I've been trying stuff and it's still saying the same numbers on the scale as far as my protein. So
Ask you this real quick.
uh-huh.
Interrupt you. Can I ask you this? Has your physical activity changed? Or have you been very consistent?
I stopped doing like the cardio every day, but to me that really wasn't changing my numbers. So I still do my 1 day off. Actually, I had 2 days off this week, which is different for me because I usually only do 1 day off. But I don't know. It's just I've changed up the routine with that, and to me that still didn't really make a difference in it. So it's definitely, I think, what I need to change up as far as my nutrition part.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you do the physical, the reason why I'm asking about the physical activity is because it's not that if you just slide off that immediate change, not even saying that you're saying this anywhere, but just because if you change up the physical activity level, those numbers are not going to differ because at this point in time, you've trained your body a certain type of way. So now this is just the deficit, if that makes any sense. So kind of channel your energy, trying to think about the best way possible. Okay, for instance, it's like if you cut out, say you cut out chips, right? And you randomly cut out chips, you could in fact see a change in your weight, right? If you cut out chips. But if you're still consuming other things that may not necessarily be good for you, and see where I'm going with this, just because you cut out one thing doesn't necessarily mean that everything else is just going to balance the way that it needs to be. Sometimes it takes pairing everything all the way up. So my point in how that relates to you in the physical activity, your physical activity, those chips, you cut out one thing, but there are still a number of other things that have a factor into that protein number. So if you've already taken up your, what is it called? Like protein shakes, and you're still doing like, a little cardio here and there. Remember we talked about like weight training and taking up your, what is it called? Taking up your weights a little bit more. You have to start switching into the, if you haven't already done this, excuse this, but this is for people who don't know. You have to tap into the other side of training, if that makes any sense. So you can still do your cardio, but you got to get a little bit more intense with that burn, and that work in your muscle, those twitch fibers. And we can talk offline a little bit more in depth about those things so that you can kind of like say, oh, I get what you're saying, or like, no, Reagan, I don't know what you mean by that. Let's go a little bit deeper. But it's good that your body's going to need to find that balance. And those meals are going to have to like compound on to kind of help you boost what it is that you're trying to do. But we'll talk offline about that so we can make more sense. And I'm not just kind of talking around in circles.
Okay.
All right. But good. I'm glad that you're making those changes. It sounds like the protein, what is it called? Meal plan. That will be a good option. But even on that physical side, because I can't wait until we get to April, y'all, so we can get back in person at least that one time per week where I can actually lay my eyes on you to say, okay, are you hitting full range movement? Because full range movement has a lot to do with it too. If you're still, for instance, if you're still doing a squat, I'm gonna just use a squat as an example. If you're still doing a squat and when you bend your knees, you're not even hitting, say you're not hitting that 90-degree angle. So if you're sitting down and your feet are flat on the ground and you look at your knees are not over your toes, and your knees, all the weight is in the seat because your butt is back, your hips are rested at this point in time. Your knees are at a 90-degree angle when you look on the inside. It's a 90-degree angle. If you're not squatting to this point at this moment and you're still only getting a little bit there, or you're not getting deeper than what your body is normally used to, then that could be another factor to consider. But again, we'll talk offline about that. Let me see. I love the plan though. I do. All right, Taz, for me, I'm working with my classes 3 times a day in my personal workout. So I'm active and trying to eat enough, still not zeroing out. How far are you? Like, are you in a deep deficit? Do you feel like you're getting even closer to the zero number? Or are you still like 100+ calories away?
It's really bad. I think I sent you something the other day, and that's when you had asked me, is it always like this? Pretty much, yes. Just to go ahead and just be honest. And then it's like most of the time I'm logging breakfast, lunch, and snacks, but not logging in the dinners. Or if I'm logging in the dinners, it's stuff that I should be staying away from because it's my sister that's preparing the meals. So instead of logging it in and it being completely over, I might just omit it altogether.
I'm looking at your numbers right now. So on this day that you sent me, did you go, did you log dinner too?
Let me go back and look. I think that was what, like Wednesday or something? You know what day it was? Because I could go back and just look at that day.
It was, hold on, it lost me.
Wednesday, it was either Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday or something.
Okay, I lost it out. Thursday. It was Thursday after evening.
Okay, let me go back and look.
I did just go home.
I actually did put dinner in.
Okay. And if it's
and I'm still coming up like really short.
Yeah.
Because it said that I had 686 remaining. So it's like, what the frick?
You probably want to bump up each of those meals. So say if are you eating about 3 times per day for your schedule?
Yes.
Okay. So, and that's comfortable for you, those 3 times per day right now?
Yeah. Sometimes it still doesn't feel like it's enough. And like you said, you don't want to get hungry. I'm burning everything up, literally.
So maybe you want to take up each of those meals, take them up, start with taking each meal up an additional 100 calories. Now, granted, that's not going to zero you out, but that is going to give you that extra bump. And you might have some days that you're like, dang, I'm still hungry. Because I mean, you're getting your body to the point where it needs to be, to the point where it is at this moment, right? Because the days have changed. This is not Taz back in December or back early January. Your body is completely in a completely different state. So we can't do what we're doing. We got to change it up. So this is what my thought was going to be for you. I would take up each of those for an additional 100 calories. I would start here 100 to 150 and see how that feels. So that'll put you at what, 450? That will put you an additional 450 calories per day.
Okay.
Try that and let me know how it feels. Okay.
Thank you.
Miss T, you were about to say something. I feel like she was about to say something.
No, I'm just in a little pain trying to get back to my car. I might have overdone it. That's all. I'm on the street walking, trying to get back to my car.
Do we need to get you an Uber?
No. Take my time. I'm almost to the car.
All right. We here. Here if you need it. Somebody can. Okay.
No, I'm almost there.
All right. Well, get there safely. So, ladies, that is what when you think about your goal for this week, it just sounds like a lot of us. We just need to get back on point. I'll even say for myself, last week, I try to, because I'm someone who's on the tone and tighten side. I'm on the tone, tighten up, and just general health side. Those are my overall goals. I'm not necessarily trying to lose. I just don't like feeling bloated. This past week, I had a sugar craving. My cycle comes on in another 3 days. So I've already started my little PMS symptoms, and the sugar craving was out of this world this past couple of weeks. Normally I take some of my chocolate, my vegan friendly chocolate, little chips or whatever, and I just pop a couple morsels in my mouth or whatever. And that just usually gives me my fix. I overdid it. not only was this a week where I would normally put in like maybe just a little bit of red meat because of what my goals are. So I try to do red meat at least one time a month. That's just a personal thing for me. And so that was one of those weeks. And then on top of that, I had my little dairy-free ice cream. Normally dairy-free ice cream will last me a good week, 2 weeks at the least, like a good 2 weeks. And I only buy it like every other month. So this time I killed all of that. And that was way too much for my body to handle. So this whole entire week, I have been in a rut. So I'm in the same position as a lot of you all are in saying, I just need to reset. Like this week, I really need to clean it up. So all I'm doing at this moment, because my goals are on the side of tone and tighten, I'm always down to lose the body fat, but I'm also there to cater towards my muscles. I want to look for the tone. I want to look for the definition. I want it to be tight. I want it to be right. All of that good stuff. So I'm restarting my week. I'm detoxing every single day this week. I'm on Gallon every day. And this is just how I'm going to get myself back on track. I'm on Gallon every day this week. That's 1. 2, I'm looking at my rest schedule. I can't be up late at night laughing, watching whatever on TV. I can't do that. I got to get my butt in the bed. So that's going to be the second thing that I focus on. The third thing that I focus on too is making sure that I'm getting my sea moss gel and or my vitamins in, because sometimes I can be very inconsistent. Sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, I took it. I should be good to go, whatever. I'm gonna have me a little piece of fruit. No, I need to be on point. I need to be consistent. So this week is kind of like the week that I'm cracking the whip on myself. Not only will I be doing that, I got to add in another gym day. Last week, I did not get my gym day in, and I already know that cycle is coming on. So this is going to be a tough week. I already know it. I already know it. But I'm committed to my 2 days instead of just my 1 day in the gym. And of course, I still have my burn unit workouts. That is what I am doing. I'm keeping all of my meals consistent, making sure that I'm getting my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, my in-between little snacks in. I'm going to be on point with my protein. I'm really laying it on heavy for myself this week. I'm picking up more weights. I'm getting more depth. I'm going to try to go a little bit deeper whenever I do work out, meaning if I'm doing my squat, I'm going to try to get my butt on the ground in regards to squatting deep, okay? Whenever it comes to my core workouts, I'm going to stretch out my body and then pull myself all the way up. I'm going to be very intentional with my stretching as well. So it sounds like a laundry list, but honestly, these are the things that we're already doing. These are the things that I'm already doing, but I'm not putting that intention behind it. So this week, I really want you, I challenge you to be intentional. Whatever it is that you're doing, be intentional. Maybe your laundry list is not as big as mine. Maybe it's not as lengthy or as long as mine. That's okay. But be intentional with what it is that you're doing. If you know that, Taz, I'm gonna pick on you for a second, but if you know that you got to get more food in because you're trying not to be hungry in between meals, or you know that you're not getting enough, you know that you're not zeroing out, be very simple, but be very intentional. Start there. Your body can't operate in this deficit for too long. That's not helpful. And even if you know that you haven't even been logging, I'm just talking about anybody else. If you haven't even been logging, be intentional. This is the good week of intentions. You want to be very intentional because that is the only way that you're going to be able to achieve that goal. Going back to you, Taz, if you know that you need that food, that extra food in so they can give you over the hump and you're not just like, oh, dang, when's the next meal? And then it's another small meal, even though it could be a super healthy meal, but it's not fulfilling because you do want to be satisfied. Take it up. That's for anybody. Don't walk around hungry. That's not helping anybody. Being hungry does not help anybody at all. So make sure you take that up. If you're confused, I'm gonna use Chandra as an example. I think she did a great thing. She just said, okay, hold on. Let me take a look at what I'm doing. I done cut back on the cardio. That ain't working. Dang. I'm getting my protein shakes in. Okay, that's still not getting me over that hump and I want to do better. And it might not even be what her nutrition is, but are we going to start there? Yeah, because that's 80%. So let's look intentionally and in depth. Let's look in depth at what it is that you're doing. Each day, what does this day look like? If it's a rest day, you don't need to eat the 400 calories more on a rest day. For what? You're not doing anything right there. So it's not making it make sense. So maybe we need to zigzag her diet. And you might be like, well, Reagan, what's a zigzag diet? You might not be there yet at this moment. That comes with a whole nother level of responsibility. So for her, zigzagging the diet just means making sure you follow the diet based off what your activity level is like. because you've already done all of the back work. You've done the logging, you've done everything that you need to do. So now your body is at a state where it's saying, hey, I need more. Lay it on heavies for me. What's next? Because sis, we've been here for a while. What's next? What's coming up next? And what that may look like for her is going into more of a zigzag diet. Zigzag diet means, okay, if you have a range between 14 and 18 or 14 and I'm gonna say 1650 calories, right? Based off your weight loss goals and based off what you're trying to retain in regards to muscle. Then you look at your macronutrients. Okay, we're zoning out. Do we need to take the protein up just a little bit more and bring down the carbs because we're no longer doing a lot of cardio? Okay, let's switch around the macronutrients just a little bit. Now, what does this look like on a day-to-day basis? Well, you know that on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're not doing anything. You're resting. Mondays, you going to town. You got your cardio, you got your strength training, you got weight training, you're gonna be stretching, you're gonna do everything. Okay, that needs to be the most intense day in regards to eating your calories. If you're doing a lot, y'all know the slogan, the more you do, the more you consume, period. So if you know that you have a very active day, but you only hitting 1400 calories and your max at the end of the day is like at 1700 calories. And at the end of the day, you only consume 1400, all you're gonna be doing is doing this, chasing your tail. Every single time. And or I'll flip the script, say it's a rest day and you haven't done anything. This is for anybody. You haven't done anything. It's Saturday. You done kick back on the sofa. You chilling with some popcorn. You watching Lifetime. You watching whatever Disney Plus, I don't know, but you watching, you kicking and you chilling and you done ate about 1800 calories. Well, that ain't gonna help. Again, it's a circle. But the next day you worked out and you barely ate. It's a circle. Like you're not, at that point in time, you really are tricking your body. So it goes back to your schedule. If you have been with me and I have not worked with you on a schedule, or even if you've been with me and you're like, Reagan, I think it's time for me to reset my schedule. What do I need to do? Because I noticed that I've switched X, Y, and Z. I'm not really feeling satisfied over here. I don't know what to do. I'm frustrated. What do we need to do? We need to get on a one-on-one. We need to do a check-in. We need to get on our weekly check-ins and let's really nail down what's going on there. Do we need to reset your schedule? Do we need to reset your MyFitnessPal? Are your goals no longer in line with where you are because you've already lost and or you have possibly gained? What has happened? So let's go back to those beginning steps. And sometimes that's what it takes when you reset your body. So I want you to think about those things as you're resetting yourself for this week. I think a lot of you have made very important, you made some important points. Switching up, I think everybody has their plan as to, okay, let's do what we need to do. Let's just get that extra level of support. Let's do our nutrition check-in. Let's check some things out, making sure your schedule matches with what's going on for you this week. Remember, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. You can't, if last week was crazy busy and this week you're going to be at home, those are two completely different schedules. You can't follow that schedule from a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't work. You have to think about the life that you're living at this moment. Where are you? What should you be doing this very week? That's what life is. Take it one day at a time. That's it. So I'm going to open up the floor now that I done rambled y'all heads. I know y'all like, Lord have mercy, get to the point, child. What questions do we have? Because I did ask that question. Are you trying to tone and tighten this weekend or by the 31st? Or are you trying to get that too? All you focus on is, Reagan, I just need to get a body fat down. I ain't trying to lose, the overall weight. That's multiple numbers. I want to keep my muscle mass. I want to gain in my muscle mass, but I definitely want to drop that body fat down. Okay, bet. Or you like, Reagan, listen, I'm just trying to tone up this one little area. That's all I want to do. That little, my calf is doing something. My arm right here. I just want to see a little Angela right here. What do I need to do? Let's ask these questions. Let's get to it. Questions for me. Open it up. Let's talk. Hey, Nisi. What's up, girl?
Hey, Reagan.
Hey. All right. Questions do we have? Nisi, how was your week?
Honestly, it's not been good. But I take it one day at a time. I start over every single day. My water has been good. Since I started, that's one thing that I've stuck with. I haven't had a soda in 2 weeks. And my body is doing some crazy things. I think it's just like I need a soda. So, but I haven't had a soda. I got to work on that movement and my nutrition though.
Let me give you your flowers real quick, y'all. Let me shout Nisi out real quick. So Nisi, last week was your first full weekend, right?
Yes.
Okay, and since then you haven't had. Now normally you would have a soda at least how much? How many
Every
times?
day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every
Mhm.
day. And you've been able to consider, and I think we originally agreed to backing off of it maybe every other, I think we said every other day at first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
cutting down small at a time, but I just
Mhm.
quit cold turkey.
Okay, listen, I'm here for that. I'm here for that. You got to celebrate the small wins. I guarantee you the fact that you have cut that back, even though you went cold, so you went all the way in. That is very hard for some people to do.
Yes.
And we're going to make sure we pay attention to that, because there are going to be times, I'm telling you right now, there are going to be times where you're going to be like, well, I just had to have a little bit of a soda real quick. It's going to be that time. You're going to have that time. But I guarantee you, if we cushion that area, you're going to be successful in being able to kind of reduce it even more out of your diet for a longer period of time. And that's the goal. That is the goal. But you're helping yourself a lot more by just saying, nope, let me cut it out. And I don't know. Let's talk offline. I want to know. I'm gonna ask you some other questions. They might be a little bit more personal, but I'm gonna ask you some questions offline about your soda. Okay. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
But that's good. I'm proud of you. That's what's up. Y'all throw some money signs in the chat. Lenisi, let me throw you some money signs, child. That's what's up. Now you get into the money. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. But you said this week was not good for you. Don't feel like, I mean, we'll talk offline, but I was going to say celebrate that win of consistency, because that is very important. If you're not consistent, it's going to make the process harder. And I think that is the biggest thing. I posted in my on my social media today. Why am I talking about social media? But it was, and I'm actually going to post it in here. I'm going to post it in the group me, but it was like the hardest part about being disciplined is not even the actions. It's making up your mind that your long-term desires are more important than your temporary cravings. When you learn to take control of your mind, you can literally control anything. And when I said that right there was a whole entire word for me, it was an entire word, because it's like that goes for anything. That can be spending habits, that can be relationships, that can be relationships with yourself, how you take care of yourself, or how you just discipline yourself and how you react and act and whatnot. That's important. So you have to commit in order to be disciplined. If you're going to be disciplined, that is more than just the actions, it's that mindset. So I love the fact that you said, nah, bump it, I'm not doing that soda this week, I'ma just commit to it, and you stood strong. So that's what's up. Now we're just going to start adding in one more thing. Don't try to focus on everything at one time, just one little piece at a time, one little piece at a time. And it's very easy to do. So let me see. For me to give up Dr. Pepper cold turkey, definitely a mindset change. Facts. That was you, Chandra, right? Hold on, let me see. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that was Chandra. Facts. And Chandra, you actually had a lot. Like, I love giving a shout out to Chandra, because, and I think we all kind of like, we all have our battles with certain things. Me and Chandra fought for a very long time on chicken, on whatever, just food,
Yes,
you know.
chicken. Yes, chicken and them sodas, baby. Yes.
Sodas. And but like, okay, Chandra, so what was it for you? I mean, I know last year, but even prior to last year, you had already started to kind of like really commit to certain things. So taking yourself pre-pandemic, what were some of those shifts for you? What were some of those shifts that you noticed in yourself?
So it's been 3 years now for the chicken, which don't even seem like it, but yeah, it was 2018 when I gave up the chicken, and I just did a cold turkey. I think when we were in the gym, you was like, just try it for a week, and then a week turned into a month, and then a month was just like, okay, I'm trying different stuff, so I don't even need it anymore because that was like the only protein that I was going to, and I didn't care if it was fried, grilled, barbecued, whatever. It didn't matter. I was eating chicken every day, and after I started noticing the difference in, my body and not being bloated and my skin changing and and the weight started to come off a little bit more better than it was before, then I was like, okay, I can do this. But I was still drinking them sodas, still killing them sodas, still killing the Dr. Pepper. And so I think with me, when the pandemic did hit, even though I had given up the chicken and like a couple of other things, I wasn't hitting the sodas as hard, but I just decided, and it'll be a year at the end of this month, that I've been doing nothing but water. Like I gave up juices and everything. Like I just was like, okay, in April, like the end of March of last year, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop drinking my sodas and just see how that does. And then the weight just started falling. And so I was just put in my mind that I was just gonna buy cases of water and just drink water. And when I do get that feel, because trust me, that you want a soda. Like I don't even want it anymore. And when I'm at functions, like before pandemic, or right after the pandemic hit, if I did go to something and if they would have sodas, I'd be like, give me a bottle of water. Go out to eat, give me a bottle of water, or just give me water. That's all I order now, just water. And so it's like a mind thing. So now if I get a taste for it or be like, oh, I need something, I will just get some Crystal Springs or some Mio or like the zero sugar Kool-Aid little things that you put in your water. And that just gives me like the little taste that I need, even though it doesn't have the fizz. And then I just go on back to my straight water. So I do buy the little packets, and I keep them like in a little cup on top of my counter. And every now and then, if I get that feel like I need to have something in my water, just to give me a taste, then I use those little packets. But other than that, it was a mind thing. And once I got over it, I was good. So once you in a month, you pretty much are straight of doing it. After you've done it for a month, then it kind of like that craving just goes away. And if you do get it, like some people were telling me to get it's some kind of water at Kroger that has like a little fizz to it, but it's 0 calories or something. And then they say put like a pack of Crystal Light or the Mio in there, and then that gives you like the soda taste. But I haven't tried it.
I'm trying to think of what water it is. I don't know. When you find out, let me know. Let me know. But there are a lot of different alternatives to kind of like help wean off, because soda is a very, very, very hard product to break away from. It is extremely hard to break away from soda. That is a very common issue that people have whenever they're transitioning, they're eating. I mean, you have people that eat clean. I'm talking about extremely clean. And they're like, Reagan, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, they eat way more clean than I do. And I like to think I'm a pretty healthy eater. I think I'm a balanced eater. I'm very balanced. I have control over the things that I'm just like, that's an absolute no for me. I have control over things like, I can't be graceful with those things and still obtain my goals, but I have a healthy relationship. And then I think about this person, it's like they are far more disciplined with everything that they need, and they're very consistent all the way through. Birthdays, anniversaries, vacation, they're just very consistent. But the number one thing that has bothered them, that has haunted them, and for them to be able to achieve their goals, has been soda. Soda is very hard to remove from your diet, because there are products in soda that they make it so that your body becomes addicted to it. It's the caffeine, but there's some other things in there too. And it's like those sugars in like your sodas and stuff, they send those receptors and everything to like your brain. They communicate with your brain to say, hey, you need me. You need me to be here. And sometimes people get headaches. And I mean, it's the fact that they've dropped the caffeine so low to the point where they've almost removed it, but they get like headaches. I mean, the side effects that I've heard have been like ridiculously crazy. So going back to that person who eats super clean, but still holding on to that soda. They're like, Reagan, you know, I've lost X, Y, and Z, but I can't get over that hump. I don't know why. And I'm like, are you still drinking the sodas? Well, yeah, but you know, I'm eating clean. It's like, well, you need to kind of let the sodas go, you know, like let it go, start breaking it down. But people are like, no, I just don't want to do that. Like, I just can't do that. And it just makes it very, very hard at some point in time. So I think as long as you have some type of balance, I think that is very key. Of course, the more you forego it, the better. But if you are one of those people who are like, listen, I just gotta have a little fizz in my throat, like I gotta have something, have a good relationship with those type of foods. A good relationship meaning look at it, and that can be sodas, that can be breads, that can be pastas. For some people, it's cheese, whatever it is for you, you have to understand how to have a good relationship with it. And Nisi, I believe this is before you came in. I was talking about relationships with foods. This was like maybe 2 months or maybe a month ago. I can't remember, but we had a reset Sunday and it was talking about your relationships with food. That's it. The moment that that mindset can get there, like, okay, this is not the best option for me. I'm going to have a little bit, but I have that strength, that willpower to get over it. I'll be fine. I can have a little sip, a little swig, and I can move on. Bet. Okay, cool. If you have that type of, that's a good relationship to have with the food. You don't need it all the time. You don't have to drink it every single day or eat it every day or whatever it is. You don't even have to eat it every single week, but it does take time to get to certain things. For some people, it might just be like I said, it could be pasta, it could be cheese, it could be anything, but just learn to have a good relationship the same way you want to have a good relationship with your husband, your wife, your significant other, or even friends, family members, your children. If you want to have a good relationship, it takes work. It just does not happen. It does take work and it takes intention, and it also takes the action, being disciplined with that action. Okay, action and mindset. All right. So those are the things that I really want you all to take into this week. Just be intentional. Set that one goal. For me, y'all heard my laundry list of goals, but really what I have to do is I have to make sure that I continue to keep my body hydrated. I got to cut the bull crap out because I know it's going to be a very tempting week for me. But I got to cut the bull crap out. I can't flirt around with, oh, let me just get a little bit of that. No, I can't do that this week. I can't do that. So I have to kind of crack that whip on myself. Think about some of the things you got to crack the whip on yourself about this week. And I want you to lean into that. As hard as it may be, as much as you might have going on, you stick to your guns. And I promise you, you're going to feel a little bit better. You're going to feel a lot better on the other side on next Sunday, whenever we get to Reset Sunday. Questions for me. Nisi said, that is so true. My body has been doing some crazy things this week. Yeah, from that caffeine, from pulling that caffeine out of your diet. Yeah, your body will respond. Everybody's body responds differently, but that is one thing that I've heard that has been very consistent. When people pull certain things out of their diet that has been so consistent, their body relies on it. I mean, think about a drug addict. Why people go to rehab for like multiple reasons, like they try to get over like the jitters or whatnot, and they can't do it, so they go right back to what they know will cure that, essentially, which is the drug. That can be food, that can be actual drugs. I mean, food can be a drug for some people. So think about it like that. If you can help it, get yourself off of it. If Reset Sunday is helping you, great. If you need to check in with me every single day, cool. We can do nutrition rehab. Ooh, nutrition rehab. All right. So let's work it out, ladies. Let's do what we got to do. Any questions for me? Any questions for me? Let me see. Taz, I got where you said need both toning and the losing of the 2 pounds. Okay, bet. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, my last thing, and I'm definitely going to let you all go with the toning and the tighten this week. If you're on the tone and tighten, and that is the goal, I want you to let me know, what area are you trying to target? Are you, for me, I'm a glutes kind of girl. Okay, which means I got to repeat that glute challenge. If you're like, Reagan, it's my glutes, it's the glutes for me. Cool. Repeat that glute challenge. That glute challenge, I'm glad I did get some receipts for the glute challenge, so that was good. But if that's the case, I want you to repeat that glute challenge, and I want you to do it every single day. If yours is arms, let me know. I'll do an arm challenge for you. If yours are legs, hamstrings, quadriceps, you name it, I'm gonna let me know and I will get that targeted item for you. So if you're with me with the glute, cool beans. Yes, Chandra, you said questions about the glute challenge. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I didn't know, were we supposed to do that just on Saturdays or just whatever day we decide to pick and send a receipt?
I wanted that this weekend. Yeah, so I was giving y'all throughout the entire weekend to get it done.
Oh, okay.
You did it right. You did it right. So
Okay.
now what I'm saying, if you're like, hey, I'm on a glutes, I want to do the glutes challenge with you. I'm doing that every day this week. Okay. Every day this week. When I take these hands, these big old hands I got, and slap them back there on my buns, I want to feel like I got something going on back there. So that's what we'll be doing this week if you're doing the glute challenge. Miss T, I got yours. I'm gonna add something in for yours, Miss T. Because you mentioned thighs too. So I'm going to add something into your glute challenge for your thighs, okay? Matter of fact, hold on, because I think you might be, I did have something in there. Hold on, let me double check that. And y'all can come off mute if y'all have any questions while I'm looking down here. I want to make sure I'm on point with it. Swiggity swooty, I'm coming for that booty. Chandra, that tickles me. Miss T, how are the plie squats when you do those? Are those bothering you or are you okay?
They hurt, so I can't really do them so well because, still the flexibility. I'm still working on flexibility and stuff with my ankle.
Gotcha.
Like the wider my legs are, the better I can do a plie. So, the wider second position is probably the deeper I can go. But, it's still not all that deep, but.
That's okay. We're going to pick up the resistance bands for you. I got something for you, baby. Okay. I got something for you. So you want glutes and thighs, and all of this will need to be completed every single day. Okay.
Okay.
This week we're balls to the wall this week. Okay.
Okay.
Taz, Jesus, abs. Okay, cool. Got you. So what I'm going to do for you, Taz, is for Saturday's workout. Hold on, let me go to that. For Saturday's workout, Taz, because your challenge is your core. So that eating, you definitely gonna have to be on point with that eating. We already know that. And I want you to do this ab challenge every single day. I want you to do Saturdays. Hold on. I want you to do Saturdays every day this week. Because it didn't take y'all long to complete that. I think like 20 minutes. I just want you to do the mountain climbers all the way through mountain climbers. So the mountain climbers at the beginning through the mountain climbers, bump the high knees. You're just doing everything in between that. Okay, Taz? And I see your messages over here. So you're good to go. That's all you're doing. Let me see. Chandra, it's me and you this week. We're doing glute challenge every day, period.
Girl, I know. Starting today.
Starting today. Okay. I was just about to say that. Starting today.
Starting today.
Okay. I'm going to hop down on the ground before I get on my flight to head back to Atlanta. I'm going to get down on that ground. I'm going to do mine too before I get to the airport. And Taz, abs, yours is bump the high knees at the beginning and the end. You're starting with mountain climbers. That's your challenge every day. Okay, Taz? I'm just going to assume that you hear me and that you're nodding and agreeing. And Miss T, what I want you to do is do glute challenge with me and Chandra. Instead of the plies, I want you to do, hold on, let me pull it up. Instead of the plies, I want you to put your resistance bands on. I want you to put them above your knees. I want you to lay on your back, bend your knees as if you're pulling them to your chest. And I want you to open and close your legs. Open and close your legs, okay? That's all you're doing, open and close your legs. What you're gonna be doing is working on your abductors and your adductors. That's the inside and outside of your thighs when you do that, okay? So
Okay.
you're gonna utilize the glutes to help pull it open. And of course, you're gonna be strengthening your quads and your hamstrings while doing those. Mainly your quads, but going into the inside, the outside and the inside of your thighs. So that's what you'll be working.
So
And
lay on my back with the resistance bands above my knees and just open and close, open and close.
and I'm about to tell you how many reps I want you to do. Hold
Am I
on.
supposed to be like you with my bottom up, or I'm just laying just flat on my back?
Trust me, baby, that bottom ain't gonna be, yeah, you're gonna be flat on that back, just knees bent and open and close right at the knees. And that resistance band is above the knees. So it's gonna take a lot more work. And I want you to do it with the medium resistance bands because I want you to work on range, but I still want it to be intense. So I think the thick ones might be a little too intense and the light ones will not be, it's gonna be way too light. So medium is gonna be your friend. And I want you to do, hold on, let me see. I'm about to let you know right now. Okay, I want you to, 4 sets of 15. So instead of the plie squats, 4 sets of 15. You could do resistance deadlift, that will be fine. Hydrants each leg, fine. Crab bridges, fine. Glute bridges, cool. Kickbacks each leg, good. You should be able to do all of that. And if you have any issues, you let me know, okay?
Right. All of that is the glute stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so you're still doing glutes, but you're gonna add that with the thighs, and all of that's gonna come. It's gonna work together.
Okay, cool.
All right, ladies. Well, let's make this a good week. Focus on the things that you need to focus on. Task for you, that's increasing those meals, those 3 meals. Notice I didn't put anything between those meals. I just want you to focus on those 3 meals. Let's take them up a little bit, okay? Chandra, we need to get together offline about resetting your schedule because it sounds like it's going to be a schedule reset for me. And I know you have your other your plan already, so that's cool. Miss T, we know what we're working on this week. You already told me some things prior to everybody getting on. You're still on that refined carb challenge. Y'all give Miss, throw some money signs in there. Miss Terry been doing her thing. She's really been committed to it. And I know Miss Terry, we had a little goof up with the croutons. However, I am still proud of you because you have truly been very consistent. So I'm proud of you for that. And I want Nisi, you keep it up, honey. You definitely keep it up. We can talk offline about some of those alternatives for you whenever it comes to removing that soda from your diet. And if you have any other questions, you let me know, but we do need our nutrition check. Okay. All right, y'all. No more questions?
I got one question.
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am. No, you're fine.
Measurement around the glute area. Like how far down do I go? Because I think I'll be messing up. I ain't doing it right.
So I'll show you. So I'm right here. I'm standing right here. I want you to, hold on, let me move up just a little bit. When you take your measurement, I want you to go right there in the midway of your butt. You want to go the widest part of your hips, right here in that smack dab in the middle, wherever the widest part for you is. For me, it's right here. For me, I take my measurement and I pull it all the way around. You can't see my feet, but my feet are together and I measure. And what I like to do is I measure on the right side of my body, but I make sure I keep my feet together. And that is where, and I'm not sucking in, I'm not squeezing glutes or anything like that. I'm very relaxed at the bottom. I pull that measuring tape around. I make sure it's tight, not tight to the point where I have skin overlapping or anything like that, but I just make sure that it's tight enough so that it's snug. I measure right there and then boom. So that's where you're measuring over the widest part of your hips,
Okay.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a fantastic week. Thank y'all for joining today, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.